Welcome back to another episode of In Systems We Trust. My name is Marquis. I'm your host, and today I'm very excited for this conversation. We're talking about two things that I love very much. One is automation, and the second is no-code technology. And my guest is Aytekin Tank. Aytekin is the founder and CEO of Jotform, a leading online form and productivity software used by 18 million businesses, creators, and individuals around the world. Aytekin is a productivity and automation expert who has recently authored the book Automate Your Busy Work. Welcome to the show, Aytekin.
Hello, Marky. Great to be on your show.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. I'm excited for this chat again. When it comes to automation, no code, I know you're an enthusiast, and I'm looking forward to learning a thing or two from you. So, I want to dive right in and just understand what inspired you to start Jotform. I know there was a story about you working for a former employer, coding forms day in and day out. Can you elaborate on that and just kind of tell us where you got your start?
So before Jotform, I was working as a developer for a New York media company. And one of the tasks that I had to do was create online forms like questionnaires, surveys, contact forms, payment forms, all kinds of forms. And I actually didn't like it much. And I wanted to do like more interesting stuff. So I looked for a product that could take over from me, but I couldn't find anything. So I thought maybe I should build that product, and that's what I did. I quit my job after 5 years being there. Like I quit my job and I started working on Jotform, and it turned out that a lot of people actually needed help with their forms. Like they needed help with automating the creation of their forms, and it wasn't just that. Like forms are like the first step in a journey. So you start with a form, but people doesn't don't fill the form just because they want to fill the form. They want something, like they want to register for something, request something, contact someone. There might be an interest about a product. So a lot of things happen there, and it starts with a form. The journey starts with a form, but after that there are a lot of steps, like an automated email is created, a document is generated sometimes because you want to kind of create a report from that specific email, specific form submission. You want to transfer that data to some other service such as a CRM. You
Yeah.
want to create a report, you want to like do things with all the data that's coming from your forms. So we started automating many things for people, and that was like 17 years ago, like and I'm still doing job form, and I didn't get bored with forms. Basically what I didn't get bored with was like helping people automate their
Hmm.
businesses, their business processes, their systems. That's exactly what we do. Like we are helping people build systems, and when you have like when you need to communicate with people in your systems, forms are like the step input, like the step where people are actually entering the information, making a request, entering into the system basically, and we are helping with that. And it's been an amazing journey for me, and so I could also talk a little bit about my book if you would
Yeah.
like. Yeah. So what happened was when I started Jotform, I was really excited. It was going so great, and people liked it. And I mean, it was great in my own like small company. Like I was just a single person, single founder. The first year, I hired my first employee. The second year, and the third employee. So going like this, it was amazing for me. It was a great
Yeah.
experience for me. But like around like 3 years after I started Jotform, um, it was like a problem. I had this problem that a lot of small businesses, like small startups, have, which was like my whole day was like taken away. I was spending all my day like answering support emails or answering,
Mm.
emails about anything like accounting, legal, HR, ordering supplies for the office. Like I was doing everything, and And I'm a product guy. I love working on my product, and I enjoy thinking about how I can improve my product, thinking about how I can like grow my product. That's my passion. And but I wasn't doing that. Like I was spending most of my time with this busy work, and really at this moment, something also happened. Google actually came out with a competitor product. Google Forms came out.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with improving my product. As a like a bootstrap founder with like small resources. I'm not doing much. I spend all my day with fires and busy work. I'm not enjoying the work much because I'm a product guy. But at the same time, now I have a competitor, like a huge competitor. Google came into the ring.
Yeah.
So it's a tough moment. It was a make or break moment.
Hmm.
And I took a moment and I thought, okay, I have to change something. And when I looked at what I'm really good at, was I was actually helping people automate their businesses. I was helping them, build systems. I was helping them, optimize their business processes. But at the same time, I was doing everything manually, and I was like trying to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
And like I decided, okay, I'm going to change something. I'm going to apply my own medicine to myself, and that's what I did. I started automating as many things as possible. And the biggest one was emails. Like emails are like was taking my whole day, like from morning to night. Like I'm answering all these emails constantly, you know, answering customers, answering like vendors, like partners, or like trying to do PR. Like
All
I'm
the
trying
busy
to do a lot
work.
of things at the same time,
Yeah.
but I'm not really very productive. Just my time is sucked up, and yeah, I decided, okay, I need to find a system. I need to build a system so that like I can prioritize my emails, and I can go into the details if you would like. But
Hmm.
basically, I was able to reduce the time I spend on emails to 2 hours, and and after that, I also automated many things in our business, like the way we developed or improved our product wasn't streamlined. It was like manual. Many things were manual. So I automated many things in my business, and that resulted in big productivity wins. And I think that's one of the top reasons that today Jotform is not just surviving. Google Forms didn't beat us. We are
Yeah.
also thriving, and I'm really excited about Jotform. And we continue to grow as a company, and we are now 500 employees, 20 million users. Like we have offices in 7 different cities around the
Amazing.
world. So yeah, things are great. And this is thanks to automation. This is thanks to building systems. And I know you're also the systems guy. And this it really helped me, and it helped me when I needed the most, like when I was like really small.
Yeah.
And the things that I learned that, and I've been blogging for a very long time. I also write for Entrepreneur and Fast Company, and I have a blog
Got
on
it.
Medium, on Jotform blog, and
Yeah.
I wanted to share them with the world. But like it was long. Like I really needed to find a way to share it in a good way, and that was the book. So my book just came out like 2 days ago,
Amazing.
on Tuesday. So it's available on bookstores, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and yeah, it's automate your busy work.
What a great
And I
title.
was able to like kind of formulate what I learned during this time into a framework that I call the automation flywheel
Yeah.
framework. I also have
Can I
automation
just pause
first
there for a second,
mindset.
Aytekin? Can I just
Sure.
pause there for a second? I just want to like commend you. Like, what a journey that you've had, right? To come from working for a corporation, seeing a problem and then fixing that problem and bootstrapping this thing from the ground up. What an incredible a set of accomplishments over the years that we've seen, and to be at the scale that you're at right now with 20 million users and 500 plus employees. It's really incredible. I want to just go back to the point where you talked about it a couple times. Google coming in with forms. I'd like to know what was happening at that point. Obviously, there was some concern, as you've already expressed, but Google has their forms. I use Asana. Asana has forms. ClickUp has forms. There's no shortage of forms. And then with your form, like it can work as a standalone. It can be embedded into different websites. And HubSpot, as an example, is our CRM. Right. So I use HubSpot forms on my HubSpot website, and there's workflow automation behind the scenes. And now I have a new website that's on Squarespace. And guess what? I'm still using HubSpot forms because I've really seen the power that platform can deliver for me, including in the automation that is tied into the back end. So for you, I'd love to know kind of what was going on in your mind at the time, that really inspired you to start thinking about automating more. Like you said, I started to automate emails and that process. So, as Jotform, the platform itself, is it just forms, or are there, conditions and triggers and automations that can be built in there? Is it an email platform as well? Is it a CRM? Or when you talk about automation, are you talking about tying it in to other tools like Zapier to make connections to other tools?
Yeah. So the word for what you describe is no code, right?
Yes.
And all these tools like Asana and Jotform and Zapier, they're all no code products. And the what makes no code products different is they give you flexibility to build things on top of them. And so in the past, like a long time ago, there were like only big companies could have like their own, like they could automate things with software. They would go and buy SAP, and they would spend like millions of dollars, and those companies would actually turn everything into automation and help them build out everything. And yeah, that was how they solved that problem. And the small companies, they couldn't do anything. They didn't have any software. Like they probably use like Word and things like that, Excel. But
Mm,
so what happened was, during the last 1 or 2 decades, the no code products started coming out, and these products are usually starting free, so they're available for free. And these products allow you to uh, give you so much flexibility, so you can build your own solutions. Like, they don't provide the exact solution. They are SaaS
right.
service. Like, someone is not coming into your business like SAP and solving everything for you, building systems for you. You are actually solving your own problems using those easy to use products that are flexible and customizable. And Jotform has all those features, as you mentioned,
Okay.
like conditional logic within the forms, or trigger an email when you need it, like trigger and reminder emails, building apps from your forms. Like, there's just like so many things we have built during the 17 years.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I'm always worried about is, like, we are constantly building. How can we make sure that our product is all, we are keeping it simple? And I think we've been able to accomplish that because we are still getting a huge number of users every day, like new signups, and we are able to convert them to active users. So uh, I don't think we have failed on like keeping the product easy to use. But what we are trying to do is like give people a lot of options, customizable, make our product customizable, flexible,
Yeah.
and but keep it easy to use. So when people need a feature, they can find it. Uh,
I
and
love
when
it.
they find the feature, they can actually dive deep into it, and they can find all the like like advanced features for that feature. But like, we are not putting everything in their face right at the first moment. So it's not easy, but I think we've been able to accomplish that, and products like Asana also accomplish that. And
Right.
forms business is not like an easy one. Like, there's a lot of competitors, and but what really separates us is like, because we are really focused on forms, and the journey you take after someone fills your form, because we were able to automate many things. For example, we came up with a product, Jotform Sign, and it also became very successful. But there are like 300, 400 e-sign products on the market. So how can
Yeah.
Jotform Sign be successful? Because our users needed a sign product, because they can integrate our sign product well with that. And similarly, like people who use Asana, they are able to use their form builder. But when they need all these advanced features, then
Okay.
they probably need to use a product like Jotform.
Would
So
you recommend then, like some people, like for me, who's someone who uses Asana, would you recommend that there are integrations or overlaps in the two tools that would benefit businesses? So if we say, a trigger starts with Jotform, triggers something in Asana, or vice versa, is there ever a use case where you would recommend integrating Jotform with
actually,
another tool like Asana?
yeah, Asana is actually one of our top partners, and we
Okay.
have native integration with Asana. Like you can also integrate it with like
I've seen that
Zapier
in
or
the App
Make.
Store.
We also have the native integration with them, and we really value our partnership with them, and always making sure that our users can freely connect their data with Asana, and like trigger things on Asana when they need it. uh,
Mm,
so I would definitely recommend it. So this is actually like this no code revolution. I was talking about that. So it's usually like the products are free or very low cost. So
yeah.
this is actually democratizing the software for everyone, for all businesses. So not just like those like big companies who can purchase SAP. Anybody can use these no code or SaaS or cloud products. And the great
Okay.
thing about them is like, okay, SAP is providing all these like tools, like everything, whatever you need. But there's even like a much larger um, number of products that are available. If you go to a website like g2.com, and even if you go to like Form Builder, you're gonna see like hundreds of products. Like if you go to e-signatures, you'll see like hundreds of products there, and you're gonna be able to compare. You're gonna be able to read reviews from actual users and see how people use them. So this is a great time for small businesses, because they don't need to spend huge amounts of money on software. They have like so many available options. And for Jotform, like majority of our users are actually free. They are using Jotform freely, and we only start charging if you really have a lot of usage. Like if you are only receiving a few submissions a month, like after up to 100 submissions per month, it's free. So if you are
Sweet.
only receiving low number of submissions, it's free. So, and many products are like that. So one of the things I always say is like there are three revolutions going on right now. The first one is software is eating the world, and this
Okay.
was said by Mark Anderson. So this is actually talking about how everything is turning into software. How from like vacuum cleaners to cars, everything is becoming software. And because software is easy, it's flexible. Like when you do things on hardware, like you are much more limited. Like the things that you can do is very limited on the actual real world. But on software, like you have so much more potential, because you are just writing code and creating value out of it. Like a
Hmm.
self-driving car is very very valuable, and it's and there is no nothing to touch. It's actually all software. So
Right.
that's the first one. The second one is the no code SaaS cloud products, and that's the revolution of no code. And this is actually democratizing the businesses. All the small or large, all companies actually have the same reach. They can actually use the similar products. They can build their solutions, and that's how I believe that's what you do. Like that's you help people, help small businesses build solutions with Asana, and provide them services.
Hmm.
And so yeah. so you can actually build things. You can build solutions to yourself using these no code products. And the third revolution is this is coming in. And I was just watching some Altman before you, you
Right.
know, talking to the Congress, and yeah, it's the AI revolution. And there are a lot of worries, but if you can put them aside for a while, AI is gonna provide like so much value. It's bringing flexibility, capability, and it's making products more smart. And
Yeah.
it's really, and when all these products that we use, all these no code or SaaS or cloud products we use, when they start having AI in them, they are going to become much more powerful because they are going to become more flexible. And the reason these products are so useful to like all businesses is because they are customizable, they are flexible. You can build things with them. But once
Yeah.
they start having AI, they are going to become like 10 times more powerful.
I agree.
And
And
that's actually one of the
I want to touch on that for a second if I can, because I think that's a really interesting point and I agree with you. I agree with everything you said. Revolution 1, software is taking over. We're embracing it. It's flexible, it's robust. Number 2, the no-code SaaS platform. I love it. I'm all for it. I want to ask though, in your opinion, you are a CEO, you're a founder, you bootstrap this company. You're at the point right now, you've got over 500 employees, right? You're in the tech industry. You have seen layoffs from other tech giants, right? Because we can credit that to the recession, or we can credit that to the explosion of AI, right? And so, do you see a time in the future, 5, 10 years from now, I don't know, maybe even sooner, where either AI will be so integrated in our work that it will enable us to work better and more powerful, or will it take over, like a lot of people are, concerned about? Will we be replacing jobs? Are you, as a CEO, thinking about the future of your company and how it will impact the lives and the workforce in your own company and other tech companies as well? Love your thoughts on that.
AI is going to allow us to do more things for our customers. And let me just give you one example. Like one of
Sure.
our biggest problems we had at Jotform was people using like bad actors using Jotform to send spam. So because we provide so many email features, allowing people to trigger emails within Jotform, all these spammers coming in Jotform and trying to trick the system to send spam using us. And we tried to solve this problem for a very long time. And it was actually preventing us to provide more options, more features to our customers. But then all these like, the logic, the way trying to fix this problem manually, or trying to do this like a more like a logical constructs, like, if it has the word like this, this is spam kind of thing. Those kind of things never worked. But once
Mm,
we were able to use AI to solve this spam problem, and we really solved it
yeah.
after a very long time, and we had like ups and downs, like our emails weren't going because someone actually sent spam with us. So we had all these troubles in the past, but because we used AI to solve this problem, now we are able to provide more options, more features to our customers with emails, and this gives us so much more power. And and we also have all these people building these AI products and AI features. So in the back end, or we are also trying to do things in the front end. But so I think AI is going to open up the possibilities. So, and more companies will be able to do more things, and this will
Mm,
actually create new jobs. So
yeah.
I think it's about like low level jobs. And if you think about it, people don't want to actually do those jobs. Like they have to do those jobs, right? If you but people would prefer to work on like in a higher level, and that's what AI allows us to do. And I think that's a good thing. And yeah, we will be able to do more, and more companies will be able to do more things. And as yeah, humanity as a result are going to be like much in a much better position. And I think that's a good thing. We have a
Okay.
lot of problems, like even today, like we think that we are advanced, but the world is full of so many problems. Like in the world, like people are still hungry.
Yeah,
as of this moment. Like we still have like so many problems to solve, and I think AI is going to help us solve them.
I agree. And I mean, there's still the issue, like you said, and I'm going to press on it one more time just to really get your thoughts. But like you mentioned, that there are some low level jobs that people don't want to do. I think you're right. Right. There are people in different certain positions who don't want to do those low level jobs, but as at this point in time, someone has to do them, right? If AI comes in and takes away those opportunities from those people that are qualified to do that level of work, is that an issue for the future workforce?
That's actually one of the reasons I wrote my book, and
Okay.
and in the book I ask people to ask themselves two questions: what should I spend my time on, and what shouldn't I spend my time on? And the second question is more important: the
Mm,
things that you are doing that you shouldn't be doing, like an automation can do or an AI can do, or if you can automate those things that you don't like doing much, and if you can spend more of your time on things that really matter. For example, if
mm,
you're a small business owner, like if you're spending your time on repetitive tasks, and if you can replace them with automation, and if you can spend your time on things that you care about, you're going to become much more successful. I think this applies to everybody. We are all going to be able to work on like more human things, and I don't think humans should be doing those things, like things that are not really uh, they are repetitive. They kind of require like repeating the same actions, or like things that are not very creative. Like
okay.
people have emotions, people can be creative. People can do things in a way that's not really, you wouldn't want a machine to do that.
Right.
And I would like more people to be able to do that. And if you think about it, like if you look at like industrial revolution, a lot of things that people had to do manually by hand are now taken over by the machines, which is a good thing, is because those people are able to work on like more important things
Yeah.
that become creative, and businesses are able to do more things, and this businesses doing more things actually allows the all of humanity to become like better, more comfortable, because we have more options. We are much more comfortable because we have more things, yeah, it's we are getting into philosophy now. like,
Yeah, I know. I feel like I
so
always go down
it's
these
a tough
rabbit
topic.
holes.
Yeah,
I want to know how the people feel about these things and how people are impacted, right? But maybe that's a conversation for another time. I'd love to hear about a success story, like automation. We're embracing it. I'm embracing it in my business. We're adopting more no code, low code options in our businesses, and me as a consultant are prescribing those options for my customers as well. So would love to hear a case study of one of your 20 million plus users on how they've taken Jotform and they've used that to systematize and really automate their busy work. Is there anything that you can share along those lines?
yeah. I mean, I'm really proud of what we have accomplished during the COVID times.
Okay.
And so the COVID hit, and like we were, scratching our heads and trying to think like how can we help, like what can we do, and we started this Corona responder program, and like started helping all these like healthcare or like first responders, like COVID responders, uh, with their tasks.
Amazing.
And during those times, like Jotform usage increased greatly. Like I think we doubled or tripled. Like there was a huge increase in Jotform usage, because
Really?
people who were doing things like manually, or like people who were doing like paper forms, they suddenly had to move to like doing it online,
Yeah.
doing it with online forms. So that was a lot of growth opportunity. But I'm also very proud that what we accomplished by helping all these COVID first responders, like uh, helping them helping them with their, like, testing, testing scheduling, or testing forms, waivers, waiver forms, or like vaccination forms. Like they
Got it.
actually needed to like streamline a lot of work, and there were like thousands of companies, not like healthcare providers, and people who are helping with COVID. Like there was like so many of them, and I was really proud. And I was also like one of the people who were affected by COVID. I was in hospital for a week. I had a really bad cough. Like towards the end of 2000, I had a bad cough. Like and I was COVID positive. Both my wife and I was like coughing, and we were positive, but we thought it's gonna be like flu. It was like a flu for her. Like she got better after the end of the week, but I got worse. Like I was coughing like for 10 minutes
Wow.
constantly, and I had to go to hospital and stay there for a week. And I'm glad to be still alive, and I'm glad that we were
Yeah.
able to help those COVID responders. And that was a really proud moment for me. And we also developed our product a lot during that time. Like we were one of the things that we really care about is like having these small teams that can work fast, like independent small teams, and each product team kind of have their own, they have their own room. They work on a single project. They are cross functional. They are like a startup. So each of our product team is like a startup. So when the COVID responders started using our product, like they were finding like so many problems. Our appointment field like had like so many things missing on them, because and they were using that a lot, kind of like a calendar where you can schedule things. We had
Yeah.
those kind of features, but they weren't really that great. And then our team quickly went in and like fixed those problems and added all these additional features to our product to allow those COVID responders to respond much more quickly. And I think that was most product moment for me. Yeah.
That's incredible, and what a great testament to how the tool can help people when they really need it, right? The fact that you're working with these first responders at a really like crucial time in our history is just incredible. And so the next kind of question, it stems from this one. You have people that traditionally wouldn't be using digital tools. You have workplaces and offices that are displaced and remote for the first time ever. So, and obviously they know they need a tool like this. What were the common or trending misconceptions around no code tools and automation? Did you have to overcome any of those hurdles with your customers, or like what do you see kind of day to day?
Is that about like the from the beginnings, or about today? Like, do you asking about today, or like when I first started Jotform?
If we had to go back to say 2020, I can imagine there were a lot of questions, a lot of people who didn't
Okay, during the
understand the
COVID time.
technology. So what were the misconceptions, or kind of you know common no code technology, things that people just didn't know around the industry?
So I think it's our duty to kind of help people figure things out, and
Yeah.
it's not easy because so people are kind of afraid of technology, and even I can be afraid of technology sometimes, because if it's I'm not used to doing those things, like it's kind of scary, and I'm used to doing things in a way, and it's hard to switch to technology. So, and I also talk about this a lot in the book, like how can we take the plunge? How can we start using automation? How can we start using the no code products?
Mm,
Like it's very easy to say, hey, I've been doing this for a long time this way. Like why should I change it? But I think it's about really using your time well. It's about taking making time saving making time to save time. It's
yeah.
about working on your priorities, and and to be able to do that. And Bill Gates has a great quote, and I really believe in the uh, importance of harnessing the impatience and laziness in ourselves. And Bill Gates said, I would always hire a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it.
Ah,
Uh,
good.
and I think it's important to take the time to research, to try different products, and to take the time to do research. And I know that like we are all busy, like we are all under so much busy work that it's hard to find the time to try different things. But I believe that a day of automation can save us a year of work. And if
Mhm,
we can find that time to try different product, and a lot of no code product, if you go to like g2.com, like just browse around, like whatever you need, whatever you do in your business, like try searching for those things, and uh read the reviews, how people use those products,
mhm,
and take the time to test them out. Like many products like Jotform are free, or they are low cost, or they have trials, so you can just try them out without any risks. And you will find that not only you will be able to solve your current problems, but you're going to find opportunities to do things that you are not doing now. Because I've been building Jotform for 17 years now. It's like a 500. Like it's a bootstrap company. We never received funding or like debt or anything. Just our customers has been funding us all
yeah,
these 17 years.
super
And
impressive.
we have built so many things for people. I think if people take the time to like try out different things, and these products are for everyone, they're not just for technical people, because like if the name no code means like it's for non-technical people. If they can just take the time, uh, that they will find that there are so much opportunities. And that was the same for me. Like I was under like so much email, like spending all my day in emails, but I took the time, and like I was able to save so much time. And I'm handling my emails, and I'm still being productive. And I can actually give more details about my email solution if you would like. Yeah.
I would love to hear it, but first, maybe this can kind of tie into it. Your
Mhm.
solution, 17 years in the tech industry, bootstrapped, private company, very impressive. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs who are curious about starting their own business in the SaaS space or in the tech industry, given all of your experience and knowledge around no code and AI?
So before Jotform, I did like 5 or 6 different products. So I think it's about like trying different things and learning. And I always believed in learning, always improving myself, uh, reading books, listening to podcasts like yourself,
Hmm.
like yours, um,
Thank you.
and like reading blogs and trying. And the most important, like I think it's not a good idea to like get stuck in like this analysis paralysis mode where you're constantly reading but you're not doing anything. I think it's important that you learn, but at the same time you try those ideas, you do things at the same time. And because when you do things, you actually encounter problems, and you encounter new problems, and then you read more or you research more, and then you solve those problems, and you advance. And if you cannot just sit still and then just read everything, and then you're not going to become a successful entrepreneur that way. And like I started building products when I was in college, and so I was like, I was building products 2 years in college, and then I worked full time as a developer for 5 years. So I developed on the side for 7 years before I took the plunge and before I started Jotform. And during this time, I had like all these unsuccessful products, and I learned so many things. Like one of the things I learned was like, don't go after like a very tiny market, because you will not be able to find, especially as a small like bootstrap startup, you're not going to be able to reach them out, because they are like you have so you don't have a lot of customers. And spend half of your time building your product and half of your time growing your product. I think that's like, I call this the 50-50 rule. And if you are only spending your time building a product, nobody is using it, and it's like you're probably
Mm,
overbuilding it. You're building something people don't need, and you want to get in front of people so that they can use your product and give you feedback. The
yeah.
same applies for like marketing or growth. You don't have a good product, you're bringing all these people to your website, and they're trying your product, they're hating it, it sucks, and you don't have the product they need, so you are losing them. So I think it's important that you spend half of your time working on your product and half of your time growing or marketing your product. And figuring that out took me like 7 years. Figuring out that I need to go after like a bigger market took me that amount of time. But I think I enjoyed every moment of it. So it's if you enjoy learning, improving yourself, I think you have nothing to lose, because it's about the journey.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
It's great advice. Thank you. One thing that stood out about what you said was the problem of analysis paralysis, right? You're reading so much and learning so much and consuming so much, but we don't actually do anything, and we think we're being productive. I think that's great advice. And so let's talk about the book. I mean, we're gonna bring things to a close. If you had to think about the book, Automate Your Busy Work, I think it's available on Amazon now. What would you say are the number one, or two insights that readers can expect to gather from the book? Is there anything that stands out that you want to share?
I think it's the automation first mindset. And the automation first mindset is about four things. The first one is about priorities, and asking those two questions, like what should I spend my time on and what shouldn't I spend my time on. And
Mm,
I talk about
yeah.
something that's called time audit. And what you can do is like you can create a spreadsheet, and then you can like create an alarm every top of the hour, like make a note of how you spend that hour, and then at the end of the week you total them up, and then you find out like what did you do during that week. This is your time
Mm,
audit.
that's good.
And when you do that time audit, that and then you ask yourself like, should I be spending my time on these things or not? That the things that you don't care much about are the things that should be automating first, because that way you're able to spend more of your times that are more important for you, that you care about. And it's about really finding those priorities.
Yeah.
So the second thing is, as I mentioned, the Bill Gates quote. It's about harnessing impatience and laziness mindset. Like really getting tired of. You need to be like sick of doing the same things again and again. Like you want to really spend the time to to you want to be able to. And one of the things is like it's also about procrastination. What happens is that we know that we have to work on important things, but we are also worried about like what might happen if we work on the important things. And then what we do is like we procrastinate, and instead we fall back on like doing things manually. And and but instead of doing that, if you take the time, automate those manual things, and if you can
Yes.
like time box it and work on the important things, that you're going to be able to advance your business,
Yeah.
advance your career. uh, you know it's going to be a big improvement for you. So on the automation mindset, I also talk about systems thinking, and this is your area, right? And
Yeah.
I always recommend the book Systems Thinking by Daniela Meadows. And it's about how everything is a system, and how if we understand the systems, that we can make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
And so systems have like cause and effect. They have parts. They have they have a process. So what you want to do is you want to create a process of improvement. You want to create a continuous process of improvement, and you want to build your systems. You want to refine and iterate those systems, and you want to create these continuous process of improvement. And I go into that in my book in the the automation flywheels sections, and
Yeah.
I have three, like, yeah, it's, get the book and you will find all these details. I think it's going to be very useful to people because it helped me become successful, and I feel like it can help also people reach success.
Incredible. And where can we find the book? I mentioned Amazon. Is that the best place to go?
Yeah, it's available on bookstores like Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. Like the audiobook is available on Audible, and yeah, it's also I have a personal website, aytekintank.com. My first name, last name.com. I know it's hard, but if you go there, there's a free chapter. First chapter of the book is available there, so you can read it, and
Awesome.
if you find it useful, you can get the book. Yeah,
Perfect.
I hope that it's going to help people.
I'm sure it will. It's already helping me. Just like taking that first like bit of read through the introduction and putting out some points. It was really, really good. So Aytekin, thank you so much. All the links will be in the show notes. Listeners, viewers, you can go and check out Aytekin's website or just head over to Amazon or your local bookstore to grab Automate Your Busy Work. Aytekin, I want to thank you for your time today and sharing just your expertise and all your knowledge on all things no code and AI.
Thank you, Marquis, for having me on your show.